the thing is that whenever people should like think in terms of relationships of any kind, like I would say any kind, like whether it's like what is called like a boyfriend girlfriend, husband wife, or or mother's child, or any kind of relationships. People have family, all kinds of relationships. They should understand one basic core principle, that no being can own another being. Okay, that's the core root principle. No being can own another being. Now, if you don't have ownership, then monogamy, whatever that word, goes out of the window anyways. Like where you are not owning another person or anything like that. Like so you can't say like that that you have control over what they do. You know, and what is the relationship thing anyways right now? It is like people deal with each other. Any being, one being is dealing with another being. Okay. Now, what is the basis of that dealing? Like any dealing should be for the betterment, isn't it, for both parties, right? Whenever any dealing happens, there should be some gain, which is evolutionary gain for both parties involved. It should do something good to them, right? Whenever any being does anything, like even if you take out relationships, even if you do some action for yourself, if you eat a healthy food, why are you eating it? Because you feel better then, right? Any action you're doing, which is eating, like which is one action, you do that so that you feel better, and it is better for you, right? It's good for you. Same applies to relationships. The same concept. You deal with another person only when it is better for you, when you gain some evolution out of it. Whenever it's, if it is not better for you, okay, then what's the point? Both beings are like, oh, I want good for myself, I want wellness for myself, okay, another being is also like that, then those beings will deal with each other with a respect, okay, that this person wants their own wellness, I want my own wellness, okay. So that will be there at the baseline. That will be the baseline for it. Any interaction amongst any human being, it should be okay, that it should, something good should come out of it. Otherwise, why are you wasting time? Or if it something bad happens to you from that, that's no good, right? That is, I mean, that's why I always say, like, there's only one relationship in the multiverse, really. It's guru disciple. Actually, when you're small, your mother is your guru, basically. Because she's telling you how to do things, what to do, what not to do, this thing, that thing, what to eat, like, like it's whosoever is doing that for you or whatever. And finally it is always that, you know in any relationship. And then when people are in relationships where supposedly nobody can tell anyone anything, because they're supposedly like that thing, then there's a lot of tension. you know like, okay, like, because then there's a whole thing like, okay, who'll decide? Like, one person decides one thing, then another person decides something else, then what? Then clash. you know you know the core points, rather than use the word relationship, which is just too bandied about. There's no such thing. It's just people dealing with each other, beings dealing with each other, and beings should deal with each other only when it is to benefit of both, and in ways which are beneficial for both. Okay, and not give it any label or whatsoever. I don't think any label is required. Okay, of any kind. You know. So I mean, even a mother like can have like that thing towards a child. Like ownership sort of thing. Like, okay, or it might want good for it. Yeah, mother should want good for the child, right? But if mother is dealing with child in a way which is not good for it, okay, then that's not mother anyways. So that whole tag goes out of the window again. you know the whole thing is about like beneficial and nurturing and something better, evolutionary. That's the whole point of dealing with any other being. So so that's the whole point of it. And that should be applied across the board without giving it any labels. I would personally won't like to give it any labels. Like, for me, it's all beings dealing with other beings. It's very simple. That way stays very simple. And then you can You don't get confused about, oh, like, what do I do in this situation or that situation, or you're not doing role playing. Otherwise in all these sort of relationships, people do role play. Okay, this is this, so I'll play this role. This is that, so I'll play that role. Become like an actor of some sorts. But if your dealings are the same, like with everyone, like, okay, I want their benefit and that thing, and it should be beneficial, then it makes it much simpler for you how to deal with anyone, and how to be appropriate with that, like, because obviously people are not going to decide the same things all the time, and this kind of thing is not going to happen, and so clashes are very that thing. So I think if the bedrock is that, okay, we're going to be of benefit to each other, like every being when it deals with another being, and with that respect, this is a being, and you don't want to harm anyone, and that should be there from the other side too. They don't want to harm you, they want your benefit only. Then it's a positive, meaningful interaction between beings. I think all our interactions and all interactions should be for the better. That's all it should be. Even the word relationship can be, I think, replaced by interaction. Yeah, I would suggest, yeah. So